All right, so you guys have honestly blown us away. I knew this challenge was going to be exciting, but I had no idea how cool it was going to be. And thank you for everybody who's showing up, right? Because that was the goal, was just to show up. And you guys have added so much value to each other. It's so cool seeing your posts and what you're teaching each other. And guys, this is one team. Like, get excited. This is exactly what we've been trying to do. So thank you for making it happen. Because without you, this would just be, you know, me and some Aussies talking to each other, which could be fun too. I mean, all right, I'm seeing some dancing there. All right, guys, now I'm going to teach you guys something about Zoom. It's important to know where you're at with the camera. So if you're doing the home improvement neighbor, I can only see part of your face. And it's kind of awkward. So I'm just giving some of you a hard time. Linda, Cindy, hi, Cindy. There we go. All right, so we're talking about connections today, and I've already started. If you haven't noticed, I do a lot of things naturally, and I want you guys to talk to you about that today as we're talking. You know, there's a lot of things that I do naturally, and I really had to stop and think about what I'm doing so that I can tell other people what I'm doing, right? Have you guys ever recognized that in your life where you're kind of good at something, and when other people don't do it, you're like, what's wrong with you? I mean, my sister Soraya is that way. She has the cleanest house in the world, and if we don't clean our houses like she does, then we're all idiots, right? And so I'm calling her out. Hopefully she's on the call. But I mean, there's just some things that you're just naturally good at, and you sometimes expect the rest of the world to be good at it too. And this is where we have to stop and think about, what are our skill sets and how can I help other people do the same? Instead of judging them, let's help them, right? And so that's really what One Team is all about, is bringing our skill sets together, our energies together, and teaching one another. So some of the teaching we're going to do today, you're going to have to think about it, because I might just be doing it because I do it. And you're going to have to catch on and then start implementing those things. For example, being able to tease people and to have fun and laugh and joke is a skill set, believe it or not, right? And it's one that sometimes comes naturally, and sometimes it's a muscle that you have to build, right? We live in a world that you can't offend anybody. Heaven forbid you offend somebody, right? Well, first of all, I grew up in a home where my dad liked to offend people. He liked to push buttons, so I know what that's like, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about being so comfortable in a room that you can respect and love other people and have some fun with them too, and get them out of their shells, right? Everybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, again, make sure you're not giving me the blank face, because, yeah, there we go. Thank you, Linda. Beautiful smile. So, thank you, Christy. So, you know, that's one skill set that you can work on, is how do you show up in a room, and how do you make other people feel around you? Are they comfortable in your presence? Are they questioning themselves in your presence? Do you have the resting, you know, face? You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't say cuss words, sorry. So, right? Do you have that face that when you're just like thinking or thoughtful or you're just tired or whatever, everybody thinks you're in a horrible mood and they all steer clear from you? If you do, notice it and maybe make some changes. All right? Force yourself to start having that half little smile when you're walking around thinking about things. And before you know it, it will become a habit. All right? Good? Amira, you're killing me right now. Every time I look at you, I just want to do a little dance. I just want to go to the beach. Like, where are the Bahamas when I need them? All right. So, you know, this is one of the things that we do on our Zoom launch parties. So a lot of people have asked, you know, why have our Zoom parties been so fun, or been so successful, I should say. And it's because we create an atmosphere where we're just all best friends sitting around in your living room chatting, okay? And that's something that you want to practice being able to do. Like, can you walk in a room and make everybody feel like a big family? Can you make people start feeling comfortable? Can you go after the person who looks the meanest and make them lighten up? You know, because usually that person is affecting the entire room, right? When you walk into a room and you see that one person who's like scary, make that person your mission. You know, make it your mission to get them to smile and lighten up. They typically are the coolest person. They just have that resting face that looks scary, right? And they just need somebody to approach them and say, hey, and get them a part of the group, okay? All right, is this so far so good? All right, cool. We're going to keep going. If you have questions, there's a little nifty little thing that you can raise your hand, or you can just unmute your phone and just start yelling and I'll stop talking, okay? Either way works, okay? All right. So connecting, you know, we're gonna talk about a few skills in connecting. Now, one of the biggest questions we get is, how do you talk to strangers? Anybody have that question? No, we're good. We're practicing it. Okay, so let's get a few ideas from you guys. You know, what are some things that you're doing to talk to strangers? Anybody wanna share one thing they do with strangers? Yeah. Yep. Nicole, go ahead.
I just compliment them on something, whether it's their shoes, their bag, their outfit, and I just start a conversation with them from that. Just find something in common. You have something in common with anybody around you, and as soon as you compliment somebody, it puts them at ease.
Awesome. Very good, Nicole. All right. So how many of you have ever received a random compliment from a stranger? Raise your hand if you've ever received a compliment from a stranger. And were you like, get away, freak? Or were you like, oh, that felt really good? Okay, I know some of you are thinking, well, that was an awkward situation and he was a freak. Okay, that does happen. All right, but I mean, everybody loves to receive compliments. So don't make that weird. I mean, people love it and they're gonna feel good. You know, there's been a lot of times at the airports that I ran to people and just like, yeah, just whatever. You can say anything. I've honestly I've walked by just beautiful women and I said, wow, you are stunning. And they immediately are like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, can we have a conversation? Or, you know, a guy, I'm like, wow, you're a handsome man. Like, I'm okay saying those kind of things. Like, I don't know why we came to this place where we can't compliment other people. And if we do, then we're weird. All right. So it can be something as direct as that, or it can be as simple like Nicole said. I love your bag. Where'd you get that? It's cute. I mean, let's just compliment. So step one, let's write that down. Start complimenting strangers more. People at the gas station, people at the grocery store, wherever you are in life, just compliment people. Compliment them for their customer service, for their smile, for saying thank you, for opening doors, right? Just start conversing with people. Okay, all right, anything else? Anybody else want to share an example of what they do with strangers? Come on, I know there's one more person out there.
Okay. I will.
I'm right.
Okay, never mind.
So we have two. No. We'll go both. Go ahead, Mary.
Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
So I like probably several of you am in Arizona, and so we all know it's going to be scorching hot. So what I've been trying to do the last couple of days is just say to people, so it's going to be super hot this weekend. What are you going to do to stay cool? And that's usually a great way to kind of get someone to like kind of laugh or be like, oh yeah, the weather, it's going to be horrible.
Very good. Awesome. So talking about the weather, and that's part of a forum, right? That's just like what's happening around you, the community, culture, state, environment. Okay, good stuff. There was one other person.
It was me. I am in Florida, which is not where I live, for the next 2 months. So my son and I have been out to the library, getting involved with any community activity. So I've been honestly opening conversation by just asking people what's fun things to do with your family around here. What are some cool activities to do with your kid? And that's opened up so much conversation.
Very cool.
So that's been really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Very good. Okay. So when you're connecting with strangers, one of the biggest things is, how do I start the conversation, right? Do I just blurt something out? I mean, how do I get engaged in a conversation? And I'm going to take this very superficial, and then I'm going to show you guys how we can go deeper in it. Is that okay? All right. Okay. So, there's different situations depending on how much time you have, the circumstances are, right? Like it can be really hard to talk to a mom in a grocery store line when she has 10 kids climbing all around her. Okay, obviously not a very appropriate time to have a deep conversation, okay? Because it's not going to happen. And so we're not going to force things. We're just going to adapt to the situation. Okay, we're going to allow the situation to kind of move us to where we need to be. That makes sense? Okay, and so sometimes I will wait. I'll let people go in front of me in line just so that I'm last and I have more opportunity to talk to the cashier. I mean, sometimes I change my environment to create a better situation. All right, sometimes I don't because I'm in a hurry. You know, we don't have like time freedom 24/7. Sometimes things got to get done. So you just have to kind of adapt to the situation. All right. One of the easiest ways to approach a stranger is just looking at them. All right. And you guys laugh, but I mean, if I see a cat on somebody's shirt, I'm going to be like, you must like cats. You're one of those people. And they laugh and we start having a conversation. I mean, if they have an ASU shirt, I'll be like, ASU fan, are you just wearing that or do you have a kid in school or something? I mean, that's the easiest way to do it is if they're wearing something obvious. Okay, if they're not wearing something obvious, then it becomes harder. You got to look at other things. And that sometimes you just have to say hi, right? Just hi. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had just saying hi because there was nothing for me to grab onto to make it funny. So I just said hi, all right? The great thing about that is if they are open and you're looking for people that are open, they will have a conversation with you. And if they're not open to it, they'll go along and you'll move along and nothing happened, right? It was just nothing happened. If nothing else, they got a smile from a stranger and a hello. Okay? Good? Okay. So if they're open, they're going to stop and they're going to say hi back and then they're going to look at you. And all you have to do is ask them a question, anything. What are you here for? You know, my favorite is cashiers because it's an easy one. Are you just starting your shift or are you ending your shift? Right? That's like my number one line to cashiers at stores. Or even if they're just walking around, you know, stocking clothes, like, are you starting or ending? Because every single time they'll do a big sigh. Every single time. It's like, ugh, I'm just starting. Or, ugh, I am almost done, you know, like every time. And then it's like, okay, what was the sigh for? And they just go into it. Like, I don't have to say a thing. They just like, oh, well, you know, it's just been a long day. My kid's at home sick, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, that's like the perfect opportunity. What would you guys say in that situation? Somebody tell me. If somebody was like, just finished, I'm exhausted, can't wait to get home, what would you say to them? Okay, Nicole?
I'd ask them if they like their job, how much they like their job, and if they see themselves there for very long. Most people are going to tell you no, and that's a great insight to just introducing them to what you do and how you can help them change their life.
Perfect. Do you like your job? How long have you been here? How long do you plan on staying here? Like easy questions. Sometimes I'll just go straight into it. If they say, no, I'm not really happy, or yeah, I like it, I will still say the same thing. Well, are you looking for a residual opportunity? What's that? Well, are you looking for a way to, you know, increase your bank account while still working here and maybe one day having more choices, maybe leaving, maybe doing something else and having that income coming in? Well, that sounds interesting. I mean, every time they're interested because most people don't know what that means. And sometimes they'll actually say no because for whatever reason, when I say residual income, they think it's something scary. No, I don't know. No, I'm fine. I'm happy where I'm at. Okay. And then what can happen after that? What would you guys say if they were to say something like, no, I'm not really interested in the opportunity? What could you say? Let's think outside the box here. Sorry, Danny was asking me a question. All right, guys, come on. Somebody be brave here.
What about asking them if they have anybody else that would be interested or if they know anybody, you know, in mind that would be something along those lines.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So asking for referrals.
Mhm.
So Linda, all I was saying is, would you be interested in some sort of residual income stream? Have you heard of residual income? And there's different ways you can ask it, but if they say no, you can say, you know what, well, I've really built a strong company with through network marketing, and I've been able to create a residual income stream. I'm helping other people do the same. Do you know anybody who would be interested in something like that? Right? I mean, if you're going for the opportunity, that's a conversation you can have. Now, again, guys, this is a muscle. So, I mean, if you have muscles, let me see the muscles. Come on, quick muscle shot. All right. Ooh, nice. You guys must be using something. All right. So this is just one more muscle that you have to develop. The more you use it, the better you get at it. And honestly, it's actually harder to teach the verbiage than it is to do it in person once you start practicing. It just comes kind of naturally as you practice it. Referrals are great, but also you can follow that sentence of what I just said. If they said, no, not really interested, I can say, well, what do you know about residual income? I can start asking them. More than likely, they have no idea what it is. And you can just simply say, you know what, well, I'd love to show you what it is. I know you don't have a timing right now, but if I could get your email, I'll send you some information. All right. And the cool thing about emails is that people are not super scared with sharing their emails. It feels a lot safer than sending a phone number or, adding you to Facebook. That's just, and guys, this is one scenario. Today is about giving you lots of scenarios, okay, of different conversations you can have. All right. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you, hen. All right. So, this is so cool. I mean, sorry, I'm pausing here for a second, but like Sarah, cool chick. If you guys don't know Sarah, you got to meet her. She's an awesome girl. Volleyball player from Austria. And because of Isagenix, she's one of my good friends. Like, how cool is it that through connections, we're able to make friends all over the world? And I never would have known these people without this opportunity. All right, all of you. I wouldn't have known any of you except for, I'm seeing about a handful, without this opportunity, okay? And this is what we're doing. It's all about human connections and making friends. How many friends can you add to your life, right? And if those friendships turn into something great, awesome. If it turns into Isagenix, awesome. But it's just about, creating this beautiful life. Okay, so moving forward, I am going to talk a little bit now about how to take a connection into a deeper conversation, okay? I know I shared the example of being on the airplane with that lady, right, with Amy, and we're like 38,000 feet in the air, and she's crying to me in the galley, right? So how did we get to that situation? That is what I'm passionate about, because like everybody knows, I mean, I go to these, we go to like Top Achievers, for example, and we have these cocktail parties and stuff. Those are one of the hardest situations for me, because it's a lot of busy, superficial conversation. And I struggle with that kind of conversation. Like, just put me in a corner with somebody and I just want to have an awesome conversation. I struggle with the meaningless chit chat. But I have developed a few things where even at these cocktail parties, I can have meaningful conversations with people very quickly. And Kels and I found that out at the last party, right? So who would like to work with me here? Somebody that hasn't spoken up, who's a little bit nervous, but you have to be willing to be a little vulnerable here. Damon?
I'll do it.
Awesome. Okay, say hi to Damon, everybody. So Damon, tell me about, so where were you at before you started Isagenix?
Before I started Isagenix, I was working in the IT field.
Okay, what were you doing? What did your job consist of?
It can consist of either working at a desk at my office remotely, or going to other people's business locations and checking their servers and fixing problems with equipment or viruses, and setting up and installing equipment.
Okay, so you're like 100 times smarter than me. Okay, good. I can barely manage to plug my cell phone and it's dead 24/7. So awesome. So what was that like? I mean, were you enjoying that job?
On some days I did, but I enjoyed it because of some of the people. I did get to see a lot of different people and work with everyone from lawyers to toddlers, because some of our accounts included, of grade schools.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was never the same every day, but yet the exact same all the time.
Yeah, I get that. So you enjoy just the connection parts, like you like making new friends and talking to people?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So what were you not enjoying?
It was very stressful at times, because most of the time when I did my job, it was because something went wrong, and you could be facing someone that's facing a major deadline, or an attorney's office where the internet goes out, or they get a virus, or a construction company where they have to shut down all operations because somebody opened up an email. Can be a very stressful environment. So that part I didn't like.
Right. So were you involved with, helping Hillary with her emails at all?
No, not at all.
Sorry.
She wouldn't have got caught.
Anyway, moving on. So how is that stress just affecting you? I mean, was it affecting you in other areas of your life?
Well, you kind of, unfortunately, you take it home sometimes, where you get off of work and you're the same person at work as you were at home. So you're unhappy at work, then you drive home through Phoenix traffic, and then you get home and you can't just automatically turn it off. So I won't say I was the most pleasant person to be around some days, and I just had very poor eating habits, and my image of myself was not the very best either. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Didn't like about it either.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. I mean, what do you mean by your image of yourself?
Well, when I started that job, I was almost 400 pounds, and I was in a lot of pain all of the time, and I just didn't take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you don't take care of yourself physically, it creates mental and emotional problems as well, because physically taking care of yourself it's just a reflection of how you feel emotionally and how you feel mentally. Your outside does.
Right. So, as you look in the mirror, if you can go back with me, because I know that you've made incredible changes since then. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Going back, and I want you to just picture yourself as that 400-pound man and where you were in life then. What were you saying to yourself emotionally? What was happening internally?
There was just there was a lot going on, but nothing at all, where I almost really didn't care about much. You just kind of float through your days and not expecting anything good, not expecting anything. Well, you're always expecting something to go wrong, but you're never expecting anything good in your life to happen. And when things go wrong, it's just a manifestation of what's going on in your head. And it's just like, oh yeah, of course that was going to happen. And that's just kind of the way I live my life, just kind of waiting around for things to happen. Not going out and doing anything and not expecting much good.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Damon. I would love to know, how do you feel like that affected Andrea? How did that affect your relationships? When you went home, how was that affecting, those that you loved?
It was just, it's hard to even talk about, but it created a major wall between us, and I just didn't want to talk about anything, and she in turn didn't want to talk about anything either, and it just created separation between us. And when you have two people that live in a house and you're just separated from each other, that's worse than being in jail. It's almost like locking yourself into a closet the minute you get home, even though it's just the two of you. And we live at times almost separate.
Wow.
Not fun.
Yeah. Can you attach some feelings of how you felt as a man, just personally with your relationship? Can you just tell me a few words, feelings that would describe how you felt then?
Depressed, inadequate, unhappy, angry, tired, unfulfilled.
Thank you, Damon. Thank you. Now, guys, Damon has come a very, very long way. I mean, I saw Damon. Now, I didn't enroll Damon, but we were at meetings early on together. So I've seen him come from like hiding in the back of the room, kind of trying to like pretend like he wasn't there.
You noticed that.
Yes, I noticed that. Being aware of situations like that is so important, guys. I'm so glad that I noticed him early on because we become good friends, and I've been able to see him, rise and succeed and become successful the same as he's watched me, at the same time. And so, Damon, tell us just real quick, what is happening now? Like, what does your day look like today? When you come home, how do you feel as you come home?
Well, today, for instance, today I went to a Toastmasters meeting because I'm ready to take this, actually ready to, kickstart this Isagenix business. So part of that is speaking in public. So I've joined Toastmasters, and I've made a few connections with some people that I haven't talked to in anywhere from 5 to 10 years. So as soon as we get off of this call, I'm going to be calling up a few old friends and reconnecting with them. And then there's on to another Isagenix meeting. So it's been a major part of my life, but I'm just so happy about it. And I feel like I'm meeting people that are putting a lot of value in my life. Mm-hmm. Right now I am a consultant, but that's okay. I'm getting a lot more out of this experience, much more than any financial reward could offer me. Although I am working to get those financial rewards, I get so much from it anyway. I would actually, if there wasn't a compensation plan attached to this, I would still be here because it means that much.
Amen. I think a lot of us feel that same way. I mean, show some love if that's exactly how you feel. Right? I'd be sharing this thing regardless of the financial part, right? And so thank you, Damon. So what, can you just tell me real quick, what is your relationship like? Like, how has your relationship changed over the last, almost 2 years now?
Oh, we're just like the best of friends again. And we spend a majority of our time together since it's just the two of us in the home anyway, but it's actually quality time. I'm happy to see her. She's happy to see me. And I just can't imagine not having her in my life. And it's made all of the difference because we both have things that we want to do, and she supports me 100%. I support her, and it's about reaching our own goals, which at the end of the day, we're going to the same place, but we both see it as each other's mission or each other's journey, but we're in it together.
That's right. That's right. And so what are a few words, give me a few words that would describe what you expect from the future? What do you see in the future for yourself?
Great things, adventure. I've started to dream again. I'm starting to think about the things that I want, and I think about the possibilities now, more so now than I think about what can go wrong. I think about what can go right. And it's just something that I'm starting to tell everybody now, but I think I already told you about entering the terrain race already. But I kind of go back to that, entering that terrain race, and that's just like a good representation of what I expect, because I still think about what can happen and what can go wrong, but then I also think about what it's going to be like when I cross that finish line. And that drives me more so than anything. I mean, every day I think about crossing that finish line and what that's going to feel like. And I want that more than any safety net can offer me.
Awesome, Damon. You are such an incredible man. I feel so blessed and honored to know you. And thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people took a lot away from, what just happened. And so thank you for being vulnerable and sharing. Guys, this is what we get to do. Put everything else aside. This is our job, is having beautiful conversations with people. Now, imagine that you were the lady who hired Damon to come into your house and fix something, to work on something, to do something. And imagine that you had the opportunity to speak to this man who expected nothing good in his life, right? Who was 400 pounds heavy, who had completely cut himself off from his relationships, right? You are the person that gets to talk and meet with him and look in his eyes and offer him hope and change, because somebody did that for Damon. And somebody was the first person to see him and put him on this road. And that is what we get to do. Like, at the end of the day, that is what we do. Like, put everything else away. And that is our honor. Like, our honor is seeing people and offering them solutions. And we have lots of solutions. I mean, we all know the product solutions. We know the financial solutions. But what do people talk about when they stand up at Isagenix events, and when they stand up on stage, and when they share their stories at events? What do people talk about more than anything else? I mean, what are the biggest changes in your life? Let's hear just a few shout outs. Since you started Isagenix, what are a couple of the biggest changes in your life that aren't necessarily, the first one you'd say? They're not one of our 5 solutions.
Happiness.
Lolly?
My son has his mom back.
I would say just living in full gratitude and seeing the amazing beauty around you, and the truly being surrounded by so many positive and uplifting people, what that can do for you mentally, and realizing that, it's hard to sometimes get out of that negative space when you're in it, and just to realize that there's such a huge community of like-minded people that are real and authentic and just genuine. And it almost, like, I could cry right now, because it really truly is like unbelievable to really think that that's possible. And that's what I take from it. So,
Yeah.
Reviving that self-love that may have never even been there, or that comes back, has been the most exciting part for me, and seeing that in others.
Right. And so
For me, it's
yeah.
been
Michael.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Michael.
For me, it's just that I've completely connected myself to the identity that I've always kind of wanted, and that I've seen that I could be, and now I'm getting to do it, and it's kind of cool.
I would say that's very cool. All right, so what occurred to me early on, because I started listening to everybody's stories, like, I love stories. And as I listened to stories, I realized very quickly that everybody in the room had very similar things: confidence, love, joy, feeling disconnected. Like, a lot of the important things that were really affecting people were very, very similar, regardless of the physical transformations or the financial transformations. a lot of the room has very, very similar core changes, right? More friendships, more passion in life, feeling like they're engaged in something good, like a good cause. And so when I recognized that, I realized if this room, this entire room is all feeling this way, then more than likely the rest of the world feels this way too. This is not like some rare special, room. Like the rest of the world feels this way too. And once I understood that, it empowered me to go talk to more people. Because when I talk to people now, I'm not going to assume. I don't want to assume things, but at the same time, I can almost guarantee that in one area of their life or another, they're really struggling. And they need me. They need you. They need Isagenix. They need this culture, this family, right? And once you guys get that, like once you know that they need you, all of a sudden the fear of connecting starts going away. Because they need you. And who here, raise your hand, if when you know somebody needs you and you know what they need, you're not going to lift a hand, you're not going to put a hand out to help.
No, of course we will.
Right? Of course you will. It's like seeing a little kid's, lost in the grocery store. You're not going to be like, oh, well, hopefully they find their parent. No, like you're going to help because you see the need, you know the need, and you just jump in, even though that kid is a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who that person is. Just like at the gas station, when you see a woman who's walking around looking confused, you might say, do you need something? Because they're showing you physically that they have a need. And you just jump in and help because you see a need. And even though they're a stranger, because you know there's a need, you're willing to help. Guys, at our core, we love to help other people. And what most of us are scared of is just not knowing what they need. And because you can't see the need, you move on to somebody else, right? Well, the reality is that most people are not going to wear a sign on their forehead that say, help me. I mean, Damon wasn't walking around going, could you please help me? Could you please help me? Could you please help me? Damon was in survival mode. He was just doing his thing until somebody else was willing to step in his way and say, stop. I can help you. Even though he didn't ask for it. Okay? I did not ask for help. I am not one to ask for help. Barbara Price called me. She had the guts to call me, and she said, Trisha, things just don't look so great in life. I can get that feel from you on Facebook. I would like to help you. I didn't call her and ask her for help. I hadn't talked to her in years. You guys are scared of picking up the phone and calling somebody you haven't talked to in years. Barbara Price called me, and I hadn't talked to her in years. I don't even know how she got my phone number to this day. I still don't know. Barb, if you're on the call, how did you get my number? Like, I don't know how she got my phone number. But we hadn't talked in so many years, guys. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, she has completely transformed my life, and I, in return, have transformed her life financially, right? And I was just a friend that she knew from years back. And she didn't bull with me. She went straight to the point. I would love to share something with you and just catch up. You guys write that down. Make your phone call. I have something I want to share with you, but I also just want to catch up. It's been so long. Like, don't make this so hard. All right. So I know we're time-wise. We want to honor your time, and I have some more things I'd like to do. So this is what I'm going to say. If you've got to get off the call. We're going to post the recording. I'm going to honor your time. If you want to stick around because we're going to do one more thing, and I'm going to share a few things. All right, but I'm sorry for those that have to get off. Don't feel gypped. I'm going to post the recording, but I promise to honor your time. Is that okay? Okay. So there's different conversations we're going to have, and as we're finishing up these 10 days, I know some of you are like, what? Okay, we're moving through these 10 days. It's only 10 days. We're going pretty quick, and the goal was 300 reach outs, 90 conversations. So if you haven't you know, gotten to where you need to be, it's time to step up and make it happen. All right. Just do it. Whatever that means, just get on with it. I don't want you guys to feel like failures, and I know you can do it. Okay. Even if they're just sloppy messages, real quick texts, like just let's get them out and let's get on track. So conversations are going to look different depending on who you're talking to. And this is the muscle that I'm talking about. Now, for some of you, this 10 days, and I want you to raise your hand if this is you. For some of you, this 10 days was just learning how to reconnect and just being a friend. All right, it really was about realizing how easy this is. I mean, keep your hands up if you've realized this is actually kind of fun, and it's easy, right? It's not so hard. Okay, good, because that's awesome, guys. If you can teach your teams this, you're gonna go really far. If you can just teach them this one thing, because you guys, some of you are seasoned veterans. Some of you have been around for over a year or 6 months, right? Some of you have been trying to do this business. Well, if you're just realizing how easy this is, and it's just about connecting and being a friend, make sure your teams know that. Teach that to your teams so that they know too, because chances are if you didn't know, they probably don't know. Okay, all right. Again, guys, this is about turning into horses. Whatever we learn, we pass on. We're teaching. We're always teaching. Okay, so, but for some of you, maybe you're already good at connecting. Maybe, you know, you're not so shy, you're good at connecting, but you're trying to figure out how to take a conversation from superficial to deep. So that's why I just gave an example with Damon, okay? I wanted to show you how I went into these levels of going further and further and further until we really got to the important stuff, all right? Because I promise you, it's just like Cher's daughter is doing a school project right now, and she did the ice. She did the ice bowl and the water, and how only some of it shows above water, right? Like in an iceberg, you see only the top part when the big mass is below. That's where all the good stuff is. So you've got to go deep to get to the good stuff, okay? So that was just one example. So where I'm going with this is simply, when you're having conversations, the more conversations you have, the more comfortable you're going to get at. Do I just make a connection and just be friends with this person for a while, or do I go straight into it? And only you can tell. Like, only you can decide that. And it's going to take some mess ups before you figure that out. For me, in my opinion, if it's a really, really good friend, I'm going to simply say, I have something I want to share with you, but I want to catch up. It's been so long. And I'm going to go that route. Now they know. Sorry, we have some friends over. They're being a little loud. So they haven't been trained by me yet. So, I'm gonna make sure they know from step one that I have something I want to share with them. Because what I don't want to do is start having this conversation and then share something. Because what they might feel like is that this was all just pretend. This was all just to get me to here. Okay? And so I always tell people up front, I have something I want to share with you, but I also want to catch up. That way, if we play the connecting game, when I do share, they're ready for it. They expect it. Okay? Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay? And so I typically lead with that. Now, if it's somebody I just don't know, like I said before, guys, I'm not afraid to go, I cannot for the life of me remember how we met. Could you remind me how we met? More than likely, they're going to be like, I'm actually not sure how we became friends on Facebook. And then I might say something funny like, well, maybe it was just meant to be. You know, tell me about yourself. You know, and then we just go into this conversation and I can start connecting with them. And that is one where I'm not going to say I have something to share with you. Because if I do that, they're going to be like, oh, there's this random person on Facebook just reaching out to sell me something, right? And so that is the time that I am going to build a friendship, build a connection, find solutions, and get deeper and deeper and deeper into a friendship before I offer a solution. I'm not going to offer a solution until what?
You know and eat.
Exactly, Marie. Okay, I call it bedrock. You guys have heard that before. Okay, when you're mining for gold, you dig until you find bedrock, right? You're looking for that one level where gold is typically found. And so for me, I keep digging deeper in a conversation until I hit bedrock, which is emotion. All right. Emotion to me is where I can now offer solutions because now we're connected and I know what their need is. Okay. And again, like I said before, that emotion could be anger. It could be frustration. It could be tears of sadness. It could be excitement and just love. Like it's just emotion. But it's real emotion. Okay. And so for me, when I hit emotion, I know that I'm ready to offer them a solution. Okay. Good. Okay, so with that being said, I need 2 volunteers. Somebody who hasn't gone yet. Amira, Lolly, you guys want to go? Wait, first of all, do you guys know each other? Good. Okay, unmute your phones. Okay, so I just want you guys to get to know each other. And Lolly, you get to start it off. Okay, so you're just passing in the street, you're at the store, you see each other. What are you gonna say to her, Lolly?
Oh my gosh, I love your hat. It is so cute. Where did you get that?
Thank you. You know what, girl? I actually got it at Target.
Oh my God, I love Target so much. I shop at Target all the time. I love it. Where else? I always go to like TJ Maxx. I always kind of joke around. Target and TJ Maxx are like my store. Do you like that too?
I do too, only when I have time. You know, like if I have the time to actually go and like browse through, because there's so much. Sometimes it's overwhelming for me at TJ Maxx. But if I have time, I'd love to just go and, you know, kind of flip through everything, you know?
Cool.
Okay, so I have to say, though, I'm looking at you. Your eyebrows are like dang near perfect, girl.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, do you do them yourself? You get them done?
They're just that way.
Oh, lucky you, huh?
That's so funny. Thank you. Aww.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys for just a second. So that was awesome. I mean, it was easy, guys. That just shows you how easy it is, and it is really easy for girls that are excited about those kind of things. All right, I might not ever notice other girls' eyebrows, but Amira did. Okay, and that's cool. So, but now I want you to start over. I want you to do it again, but this time I want you to pretend. Now, Lolly, you're the one starting again.
Okay.
Okay. But I want you to pretend, like in your head, I want you to pretend that she is your very best friend. Like she really is your very best friend.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And so, yeah, I just want you to relax. And you could even start out the same exact way because she's not your best friend. In real life, she's not your best friend, but in your head, she is. You're pretending that she is, right? Do you get this? So this is how I talk to people. This is how I talk to strangers, is I pretend like they're family or that they're already best friends. Okay? So start over and just see maybe if the conversation feels a little more comfortable and if it leads into anything else. Because, I mean, she's like full get up, like she's going somewhere.
I know.
All right? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi. Oh my gosh. I have not seen you in so long. Wait, no, she's not my best friend, right?
Yep, she's not really your best friend. She's
okay.
Like, who are you? No, I love the hat. Keep going with that.
So, oh my gosh. I have to just stop you right there. Your hat is just awesome. I love hats. I really do. I wish I had them. Where did you get your hat?
So funny. I got it at Target.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. You look like you just walked out of somewhere. Like, where do you work out? I'm trying to find somewhere to work out, somewhere new.
Yeah, you know, I work out at Anytime Fitness, and I did. I just finished training, so I just thought, you know what? And actually, underneath the hat is really bad hair day. So that's why I have the hat on. And I was like, you know, come straight from the gym. Let me just throw this hat on and, you know, go do what I got to do.
Oh, cool. Do you mind me asking, like, what do you use? Do you use anything while you work out? Because I am trying to just figure out what I need to keep going. And I know I have some stuff that I love, but I want to hear what you use, if you use anything.
You know what? I use I've tried everything. You know, I used to cheer in the NFL, so I did Pickens at that time. We did ephedra. I've done everything except for like Weight Watchers, probably.
Oh my gosh, I used to cheer in the NFL too.
Did you?
Ow, that's so cool. And I know what you mean. Like you just want to try and be like skinny and
Yeah, I mean, you got to like bare your abs in front of 80,000 people. You're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to look good on the field. But looking back, it wasn't a good thing. And it's really by the grace of God that I'm still alive. I mean,
oh my gosh.
on it, country field, come on now.
That's crazy. I know. You know what? I mean, I have just discovered this amazing solution that has, I mean, I've never felt better. And I'm 47 years old, and I probably have realized now that, you know, being the skinny thing isn't like all that. And I'm not, and truly, like, this stuff's pretty cool if you.
Oh, really? What is it?
Yeah. So it's, if you're open to it, I'd love to like catch up with you, and maybe we can go get coffee and we can talk about everything. I'd love to hear your experiences with the NFL too.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
Awesome job. Very, very cool. So I don't know if you guys saw what happened now. Granted, guys, let's give them some love.
Hey, wait, Lolly, were you really in the NFL?
Yeah, for the Cardinals.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Amira, who did you cheer for?
The Buccaneers.
Nice. All right, guys, you're on the call with two NFL cheerleaders.
You're so funny, Trisha.
That's my wow. My wow, Mom. No, guys. So I mean, we got to give them some love because that's scary. It's scary getting in front of all of you amazing people and having this pretend conversation. The reality is, it's even easier in real life. Okay, it's easier in real life. It's the same deal with. So I speak Spanish. I learned Spanish. I served at mission for our church, and I learned Spanish. When I talk to other Americans that speak Spanish, it's like nerve-wracking because I know we're both judging each other. Like I know it. Like we just do it. It's like nerve-wracking because we're putting on a show. Whereas when I'm talking to a Latino, like it's easy, it's comfortable. I just do it without thinking about it, right? And so it's kind of how it is when we're doing these productions, okay? But it's still important to see. Did you guys see the difference between the first try and the second try? Right? The first try felt more superficial. They were just talking about hairs, hats, eyebrows. Like that's the conversation it led because we were in that superficial zone where it's a little scarier. Okay? The second she started thinking of her more as a good friend, right? And having a real human connection, they went down a different route. And what happened is Amira responded differently, right? Instead of going, oh, I love your eyebrows, she started going into her life. Like she started talking, she gave a few personal things away, right? Like, do you guys see what happens when you ask the right questions and you really stop and look at somebody, they start sharing a little more of themselves instead of staying up here superficial, okay? And so one of the tricks to that is stopping and centering yourself. Whenever I'm going to have a conversation with somebody, I make sure that I check out everybody else. So the rest of the world turns off for a minute, and I'm 100% focused on that person. Okay, so when I was talking to Damon, I put it on speaker view because I wanted to see just Damon, and I had to ignore the rest of you. Right? Or else I would have been in training mode instead of really connecting with this man. Okay? And so as parents or as busy students or employees or whatever, that can be really hard, that just like shutting down and focusing for a minute. But it's so important. That's one of the key things. Step 2 of, is the focus. Step 2 is remembering that we're all human beings and that you have something to offer them. And they are going to be your best friend. Right? In your head, they're your best friend. You care about them. This could be this could be your best friend by all means. Who knows? Maybe Lolly and Amira become best friends. I don't know. If you guys have best friends on the call, don't get jealous. They might become really good friends, right? Because once upon a time, your best friend was a stranger, right? Once upon a time, my husband was a stranger, right? We were all strangers once, but we're all kind of coming together. And so remember that. Don't forget that. All right. Next, remember that they have a need and you're there to fulfill it. So if your goal when you have these conversations is, I'm going to sell them Isagenix, you might fail unless you're an amazing salesman. Okay. If you're to be honest, if you're an amazing salesman, raise your hand. There's a few of us in the room. I don't know if I am or not. I could probably sell something, but I don't really feel like I am, honestly. Because I have to really believe in it to be a salesman, okay? So I didn't see any hands raised, but I'm sure there are a few great salesmen around. But that is not what sells Isagenix. You have to go into a conversation wanting to add value to somebody's life. If you're thinking about how they're going to add value to your bank account, you're not going to get very far. You have got to put away the idea of cycles and double bonuses and all this stuff, rank advancements. That has to be so far from your mind when you're connecting to people. What you need to be thinking about is, how can I add value to this person's life? And if that means it is just a smile today, then it's just a smile. And if it means you just have a great conversation, then awesome. They're going to go home happier because they had a great conversation. Hold on one second, guys. I'm really sorry, but I have to grab something really fast. So where's Shares and Kel? I want you guys to keep talking.
Okay, while she's going real fast, something that I've learned, people buy from people that they know, like, or trust. They're not buying the product necessarily. They're buying you. So if you can make that really good connection. I worked as a server for years, and people would buy or come in to see me, not necessarily the food that I was giving them. So people buy from people they know, like, and trust is something. So when she says building connections is really, really important, it is hands down probably the most important thing you could do is be real and authentic and care about the person you're talking to, because they will come back to you. It might not be the first time you talk to them, but if they know that you truly care about them, you've made that connection, when they are ready, they will come to you. They will feel comfortable coming to you. I think the other two girls got off the call.
I really like the points that you were making, Nicole. When I first started this, I didn't really have to reach out because I just shared what I was doing, and the people who trusted me did come into my circle and ask what I was doing because of exactly what you talked about. So it's so true, because I had heard about Isagenix from a lot of people, and so had they. And so it is all about, they can tell if you're trying to sell something or if you're just trying to connect, if you really want to help.
It's so true. I mean, I can tell when someone's trying to sell me something. I think most of us can. So if you are just so authentic and real and connect on a human level, I mean, we all are looking for that connection from someone, whether people show you or not. They just want that. You show you care. When they're ready, you're going to be the person they come to. So I always try to keep that in my head. Like, it's not about me. It's about them. This is not about a business. This is about giving a gift. I have a girlfriend who refuses to talk about Isagenix with people. She thinks that if she puts anything out there, it's being salesy. And last night we had a very big conversation about, what if you were never introduced to Isagenix? What if I never shared this gift with you? It's a packaged little gift with a bow on top that someone gave me. It's changed my life. What if I don't share that with other people? What am I keeping from somebody? I mean, I have a couple people on this call that I gave that gift to. What if I hadn't given them that gift? Their life would be the same place. So that's when I'm sharing with people, that is what I have in my mind. I have an amazing gift that I was given. It's my turn to give it away.
Beautiful.
And can I add something to that? And then, like, when we reach that point, like, one of the things I've learned on this journey, when we reach that, I call it the sweet spot of vulnerability with somebody, right? Assuming the posture that you can have them, help them, changes everything. Like, so if I've reached that sweet spot, let's say like in that conversation with Lolly, and we get to that point where she's vulnerable and authentic, I mean, I really had to work on saying, you know what, I absolutely can help you. Instead of like, oh, well, I think I've got something that you might like, or, I think, you want to check out something? It's like, oh, okay, yeah. But when you look somebody dead in the face and say, I believe I can help you, are you open to the conversation? changes everything.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome, guys. I think that was honestly the perfect close, because Amira is 100% right, and I love that. And it comes back to, again, knowing that you have something, that your voice matters, that you have something to offer the world. And if you will just recognize that your voice needs to be heard and that people need you, you're not going to be so shy opening up, you know? So anyway, before we close off, I just want to answer any last questions, and then we're gonna end the meeting. So is there anything you just feel like I really just needed this verbiage, or I really need this answer? Go ahead and ask now. Rebecca, did you have something?
Yeah, I did. It took me a while. I'm still on the last topic. It took me a while to unmute. But the one thing I wanted to share is I connected with a gentleman on Facebook just out of the blue, don't even know him, got to know him, asked him a few questions. And I was able to ask him about getting on our team page or our product page. And he said yes. And then I got talking about it. And he started to ask me, he says, "You're not trying to sell me something, are you?" And I immediately messaged him back. And I said, "No, I don't sell anything. I just share, I share a gift with people." And I said, it's kind of a pay it forward. Somebody did this for me, and now I'm taking what was given to me and I'm sharing it with others. So I just wanted to share that because it was along the same line. So
beautiful. I love that you held your posture, because you're going to get those kind of questions a lot, guys. And I will tell you right now, if you feel like you're selling something, that's what you're giving off. That's the vibe you're putting out in the world. If you feel like a salesman, everybody's going to treat you like a salesman. So let's get that kind of stuff out of your head, right? You really do manifest your fears on other people. You know, that's why we have teammates that I swear every enrollment, they don't want to give their social security card away. And she's like, "What's wrong with my people?" I'm like, "Honey, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing?" Because I've yet to have that be a problem. Or, you know, everybody does the 9-day. Well, you're doing something to sell the 9-day. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, if you see something showing up in your life a lot, and people don't like to hear this, I know it sucks to hear this, but if there's something going on a lot in your life that you're not liking, more than likely it has something to do with what you're manifesting to the world. Okay. And that's another conversation we can have at a different time. Right. Okay. So are there any questions at all about connection before we get off? Verbiage. Nicole, did you have a question?
It's not about connecting or verbiage, but for the online opportunity meeting that you have, how do we invite people?
So the launch party?
Yeah.
I believe Cindy had to jump off. Yeah. So there should be she posted that on her open page. You guys can answer this for me. If you are not friends on Facebook, can she invite you, or can you find it? Do you have to be friends with her?
I was invited to it, but I can't invite anybody else.
That's odd. I wonder if it's because you're not friends on Facebook. Are you friends?
With?
Cindy? Cindy Van Etter?
No.
Okay. Well, Damon, do you have an answer for me?
I actually did I saw it in a Facebook post.